Hey, Chris, let me show you what you look like. You're great. You're great at that producing job, Chris.
Yeah, you're on. Hi.
Oh, God. Oh, gosh. I guess we're on. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Paid Search Podcast YouTube channel. Today, we are doing a very straight to the point PPC questions and answers episode. This is going to be on iTunes, on the PPC questions and answers show on iTunes, but it'll be on the same YouTube channel for the Paid Search Podcast. So please click the like button if you're on YouTube, and please leave a review and help us grow this sideshow in iTunes. So Chris, welcome back to the PPC questions and answers show. I'm going to get right into our question today from Matthew. Hi guys, thanks for the great show. If you were taking over in-house paid traffic management, what would be the first things you would do? It's a B2B tech company. This is screaming out Chris, that specializes in 3D image model management. Not screaming out either of us. They have three offices in 3 countries. So we're B2B. We do some kind of very specific 3D image and modeling management, and we're in 3 countries. This is a pretty big deal. His plan so far in the new job is to set up remarketing. I don't think either of us have a problem with that. And then to set up a Facebook/YouTube webinar series on the topic the company specializes in, remarket to people who engage in the webinar with the lead forms and all that. Do you guys recommend anything else I can lead with to make a great impression with my bosses? Thank you, Matthew. So Matthew, thank you for the question. I'm just going to give a couple pieces of general advice here about AdWords, and then I'm going to throw it to the absolute best business-to-business AdWords manager that I know, Chris Schaefer.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, Matthew, now I love the remarketing. I think you got to do that. That's a great use of the budget. And really for any business that helps grow the brand, stay in front of people who have connected with your website. Facebook, YouTube webinars, I can't comment on that, Matthew. That's not something I do. I don't
even know what that looks like.
Well, it's like, you have a Facebook ad and it says, hey, you're interested in 3D image and modeling. See how it can help your company register for this event. And then you get their lead info and they show up to the webinar. It's not something Chris and I do. That doesn't mean it's bad. Go for it, try it, but we just can't really comment on it. What we can comment on is the piece of the puzzle here that's missing. I don't see anything about search engine marketing, Matthew. I don't see anything about search ads on Google. And both Chris and I think that's a great place to start. Now, how to make a great impression with your bosses. When I was working at an agency, I would take clients through this cycle where we'd be in the room, conference room. We throw it up to the video screen on the board there. And I would just say, okay, what would your customer search? And they may search like 3D image modeling management companies. So then I would type that into Google, whatever they told me their customers would search is. And then I would go, hey, look, I did a search just like your customer would on Google, because people do that. That's how they find businesses to work with. And look who's there. Your top 2 competitors have ads there, but where are you? Oh, by the way, let me Google your name now, your brand name. Oh, who's there? Your competitors are there, but you're not there.
Ouch.
And you can talk about AdWords, search ads all day long, Matthew, to your bosses, but a lot of people just don't know what we're talking about here. They don't listen to the Paid Search Podcast every week. They've never been in an AdWords account. My biggest tip here is that you got to be on search ads to start out, and to get your bosses behind that, visually show them competitors advertising and stealing market share or taking market share, and you guys not being there when customers look for your service. Showing them that on an actual Google search result has worked great for me. I think it'll work great for you. Now I'm going to throw it to Chris. And Chris, what I want to know from you is, he's in-house, he's at a company. You've been in this role, Chris. You've literally been the person in-house in your first AdWords job, pitching AdWords to people who didn't really know what AdWords or search ads were. Where do you even get started? And what does he do to get started here and convince his bosses of the value of AdWords? And once he convinces them, what are the first steps?
Yeah. So basically, here's the pitch, Matthew, that you're gonna give your bosses. The idea here is that you want to go after some very specific traffic, and what you want to explain to them is that first their competitors are there, and what you can do is show up when the people that are looking for their business search on Google. And the way that you do that is, one, you avoid high volume traffic and you're going after B2B traffic. So B2B traffic is going to be, every 1 out of 10 searches is going to be something B2B related, maybe 1 out of 50 in some cases. It's a very small percentage. Okay. So the volume is not going to be huge. Okay.
So Chris, let me just say, if I'm the boss, well, Chris, I don't want to anytime I've tried AdWords in the past, we put in the word 3D image modeling and we got a bunch of crap. We didn't get any business. So you might push back and say, well, what do you do 3D image modeling for? Oh, oil wells. So what would be a Chris Schaefer word there? 3D image modeling companies for oil companies or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're going to, exactly what Jason's talking about. You're going to go after a specific industry, break out the industries that are most valuable to your company. Go after, you're not looking for local traffic. You're not looking for 3D modeling companies in Ohio, right? I mean, that's not what you're probably looking for. You're probably a service company that serves entire countrywide.
And industries.
The reason. So you're going to be going after industries. You're going to go after service company searches. You're going to be going after top service provider type of searches, and using those two tactics, going after industries and searches specifically for service providers, which would look something like 3D modeling service companies, or top professional 3D modeling companies, or something like that. Right. That's going to be your best route to, number one, cut out all the junk traffic from 3D modeling, generic consumer
3D modeling
search
degrees, 3D modeling university courses.
Exactly. And then second, when you add the industrial or the industry specific type of stuff, it's not going to get a whole lot, but you can really nail in and surprise someone whenever they are trying to find that niche. And if you show up on that niche, you're really going to make an impact. So that's the difference. That's really what's going to make an impact and show your bosses that, hey, this could really work for us. Imagine showing up on these really precise terms and, what impact it could have for lead generation.
And Matthew, Chris, you said this before the show, and it was a great point. With the webinar, Facebook stuff, you're going towards who you think would be your customers. But with the beautiful thing about search engine advertising on AdWords that your bosses need to understand is, instead of going after people who might be customers, you're getting in front of people who are definitely have the possibility of being customers, and they're looking for you. So it's the most valuable traffic you can get. It's people looking for you. And Chris, my final question here, if I'm in Matthew's shoes, we have offices in 3 countries. Give Matthew a little help here in terms of campaign structure. What is his AdWords account going to look like, assuming they want to advertise in all 3 countries? Is it, would you have one campaign? Would you do a campaign by country? What's the move there?
Right. So you'd have, if you have 3 countries, you'd want to have 3 different campaigns. So you'd have US, Canada, Brazil. I don't know where the different places that you are, but you're going to have one campaign for each country that you're targeting, because you don't want to mix and match those. They're going to have different priorities, different targets, different budgets, different geographic targeting. So that's the idea. I think you should definitely impress them with this. I think this will convince them entirely that search marketing is going to be a key asset of actually bringing the consumers, instead of just being aware for people who are searching for it when they see it on Facebook or YouTube and stuff like that. I think this is a great way to do it. And with remarketing, you can really seal the deal for people that have already been to your site. So that's it. Short and sweet. Be sure and subscribe to our main podcast show, and you'll get the full story. This is the PPC question and answers guy. We'll be back later.